Hey friends, welcome back to Daily Dish, Flourish and Thrive, Real Talk After 50. I'm your host, Nikki Williams, and I am so excited to have you join me for my second episode of Flourish and Thrive. Last week, we talked about the importance of self-care, and today we're diving into something that is just as transformative, reinventing yourself after 50. Whether you're navigating a career pivot, rekindling old passions, or pursuing brand new dreams, this chapter of your life is the perfect time to embrace reinvention. And I'm walking that journey right alongside you. Starting 3 podcasts, launching a season line, and becoming a content creator are all dreams I've had for years. And I'm finally making them a reality. My 3rd podcast will launch Sunday, December 15th, so stay tuned for that. Now, let's talk about how you can do the same thing. Grab your glass of iced coffee or iced tea, and let's get started. But before we get started, let me say this one thing. This is the second time that I have tried to do this podcast. I know that I posted this podcast. I know that I saw it published. I know that I saw those words. And I checked my YouTube this morning, nothing. I checked my episode list, nothing. So I don't know what happened. So this podcast is supposed to come to you at 9 a.m. Central Time. And I do not know what happened. But I digress. Reinventing can be very intimidating, but it can also be incredibly liberating. For us Gen Xers who have lived through mixtapes, shoulder pads, and the dawn of the internet, we have already seen so much change. So why stop now? The beautiful thing about this stage of our life is that it is uniquely ours. By the time we hit our 50s and beyond, we've gathered experiences, lessons, and wisdom that can serve as a foundation for building something extraordinary. Reinventing yourself doesn't mean starting over. It's about repurposing what you already have into something fresh and meaningful. Let's talk about some key areas to focus on when reinventing yourself. Your passions, your hobbies, your style, your grooming, your travel, your adventures, and most important, your health and your wellness. Think back to what you loved doing before life got so busy. Did you enjoy painting, gardening, or writing, or maybe even exploring new places? Now is the time to revisit those interests or discover new ones. For me, podcasting was a passion project waiting to happen. And look at me. Fashion and grooming aren't just about looking good. They are about feeling confident. Reinventing yourself, your personal style, trying new fragrances can work wonders for your mindset. I've recently updated my wardrobe to include more timeless pieces, versatile pieces, and it was a game changer for me. Planning trips, even if they are local getaways, can bring you a sense of excitement and joy. Whether it's visiting a place that you've always dreamed of or exploring hidden gems in your city. Travel is a great way to refresh your spirit. Most definitely. I most definitely agree with that. And solo travel. If you haven't solo traveled before, you need to solo travel. One of the big things in this chapter of our life of reinvention starts with taking care of our body and mind. For me, my gastric bypass surgery was a step toward better health And it opened up so many doors for me to flourish and thrive. And when people hear the words gastric bypass or any kind of bariatric surgery, the first thing they think is, oh, she was trying to lose weight. No, she was trying to lose weight. No, I was not. That is not even the reason that I got the bypass surgery. Losing the weight was a bonus, but that is not why I got bypass surgery. I got bypass surgery because of my health. I needed something that was going to help me help myself. I had my surgery done like right after the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, I twisted my knee. I tore my meniscus, my MCL and my meniscus. And the healing time that it was supposed to take was taking longer than it was supposed to. So it was suggested to me to look into bariatric surgery. And I did. And it was suggested to me because of my the health issues that I had. Plus, it was going to take a lot of the weight off of my knee. So, in that respect, it did all of those things. It helped me with my blood pressure. It helped me with my cholesterol. It helped me with my weight. It helped me with all of that. But again, I did not get the bariatric surgery for weight loss. It was for my health. I needed it because I could feel the weight. I could feel the weight gain. Because like I said, when I got this surgery, when I twisted my knee, it was in the height of the pandemic. It was, we were going through quarantine and the Texas freeze at the same time. So if you from Texas, then you know, I was not able to go anywhere because there was no electricity, none of that. So I was not able to go. I had to sit at home for a whole week in pain before I even said, you know what, I'm gonna have to go to the emergency room. And I had nobody to take me to the emergency room because the only people that was at home with me was my daughter. My daughter didn't know how to drive yet. So she was able to come with me, but she was not able to drive me. So the same foot that I used to drive, do you know how painful it was to try to drive all the way to the emergency room with that knee? So when we got to the emergency room, I couldn't even be seen because, well, I could be seen, but I couldn't be seen like I needed to be seen because they were dealing with COVID patients at the same time. And I was not able to be in the same area with the COVID patients. And they wanted my daughter, who was a minor still, they wanted her to leave the hospital. No, she was not doing that. I was not finna make my daughter sit outside while I was in the emergency room. I was not about to let that happen. So I told them I needed her, which I did. And the only thing they did for me was gave me an x-ray on my knee. I already knew you weren't gonna see nothing. I already knew that nothing was gonna happen. I already knew that. But I did know, what I did know was that they did not do MRIs in the emergency room anymore. So what they did for me was they gave me a week's worth of Tylenol 3 to take until I was able to go to the doctor, which thankfully I was able to go to my own doctor within that week. Because I think it was maybe like 3 or 4 days after that emergency room visit that I was able to go to my doctor. Because mind you, like I said, it was a Texas freeze. So you had a lot of places that didn't have electricity. And my doctor's office happened to be one of those places that did not have electricity. So once I think the 3-4 days was up, I got in contact with her office. And actually her office still was not open. So she referred me to an orthopedist, and that orthopedist, it was in a medical center. So, they had electricity in the medical center. So that's how I got my knee taken care of, through an orthopedist. But anyway, that's my little rant about my surgery. But reinvention it's an evolving process. It's not a single destination. It's only to take a small step and give yourself grace along the way. As you move forward, take time to celebrate every win, no matter how small. And remember that reinvention is about honoring who you are while embracing who you are becoming. But before we move on, I wanted to take a moment to highlight someone who embodies resilience and reinvention. Jamie motherfucking Foxx. I recently watched the Netflix special what had happened was, and let me tell you, it was a roller coaster of emotions. Jamie shared his experience of recovering from a stroke and a journey that was both heartbreaking and inspiring. He talked about the denial he initially felt and how he eventually realized if he stayed funny, he could stay alive. His humor became his lifeline, and his testimony was about remembering the goodness of God. He shared how his sister and his daughters stood by him every step of the way, never giving up on him. It was so heartfelt. And yes, I cried and I laughed through the whole entire thing. Jamie Foxx is a triple threat. He is an incredible singer, an actor, and an awesome comedian. This is, and that is special, and this special just reinforced how much of a chosen one he truly is. If you haven't watched What Had Happened Was yet, I highly recommend. It is a beautiful example of finding strength in the face of adversity and thriving despite the challenges. Bravo, Jamie Foxx. Bravo. Now, let's take a stroll down memory lane. Do you remember your first big dream as a kid? Maybe it was to be a singer, an astronaut, an actor, an actress, or a world traveler. For me, it was to share stories and connect with people. While the medium has changed over time, the dream has always stayed with me. This week, I challenge you to reflect on those childhood dreams as pieces of them you can bring to what pieces of them can you bring to your life now? Maybe it's time to write that book, pick up a guitar, start planning that adventure that you always dreamed about. Nostalgia can be a powerful tool for reinvention. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Flourish and Thrive and feel inspired to start or continue your journey of reinvention. Let's let this conversation keep going. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Simply Nikki Vibes, and connect with me on Pinterest, Facebook, and YouTube at Everything Nikki. For more episodes of Flourish and Thrive, visit my podcast website at iamthetravelguru.podbean.com. And if you have any stories or questions or topics you'd like me to cover, DM me on Instagram or email me at iamthetravelguru@gmail.com. Thank you for spending this time with me. Reinvention isn't a solo journey. We're in this together. Until next week, keep flourishing, keep thriving, and remember this. This is your time to shine. Bye now.